Hi, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a while, but Christina and I are back with another video. This isn't going to be like our usual social commentary. I've mentioned in passing in the past that Christina does have a chronic illness. So in this video, we are going to discuss hair identity, chronic illness, and in keeping with the times, quarantine life. What prompted you to pick this topic?
I've had chronic fatigue for over 25 years. I mean, there were periods of time where I could not go out, and the concept of being quarantined, not in a way that, it's dangerous to go outside, but where I had limited exposure to other people is something that I've always dealt with. And thinking about why I'm fixing my hair, or what if I'm getting up and I know that I'm not going anywhere, what my motivation is to still try to look good. When everybody started talking about being home all the time and, is it worth it to even get up and get dressed and why are you even going to comb your hair? It was interesting for me to kind of receive that information as somebody who has been dealing with this for, like I said, over 20, and for a long time I was working, so I was going out, but there were so many occasions where I would wake up and I would know that I wasn't going out, but I would think, for me, it made me feel better to know that I looked fine. And so it was interesting to see it at a more global scale.
We locked down on March 11th when the coronavirus first came near to us. To be fair, I didn't really wear makeup every day when I went to work in the first place, but the fact that I was now working from home, I was having a lot less video calls. And, I would get up, I'd put on a shirt, like an acceptable shirt, and then... So I would always come downstairs and I would see Christina fully decked out in eyeliner and mascara and, some fun glasses. I even see those as like a statement piece, and her lipstick, and she's dressed, she's coordinated, she's wearing both a top and bottom that she put time into. And I'm just
packed my bag too.
She's always walking around with her handbag packed for some reason. I haven't touched my handbag in over a year at this point. She always looked put together, and I guess I was thinking about that in the context of quarantine. But now that I think about it, she has always done that because, as she mentioned, she's had chronic fatigue. The long haul is somewhat amplifying it because it's now not just my sister who has chronic fatigue, a whole bunch of people do. Christina always looked put together. She's always been the stylish one in the family. To her point about the quarantine, she has had some medical things pop up, new things in the last couple of years. So she had pretty much already been in a quasi-quarantine. And it's just, for her, the difference now is that everyone's in quarantine, so now it's really a topic of conversation. I have mentioned in the past, and kind of like why won't she do it? She has trouble with dry hair, and just, I have tried pretty much not the ones that I haven't opened, because I do product reviews. I can't give her stuff that I haven't opened yet, which is quite a ton at this point. But I have tried so many of my products on her hair. I've tried melanin hair care, and I thought at the time that I was trying that if melanin hair care doesn't work, that's it. Surprise, surprise, I have started using Bo Peep Naturals in her hair, and it actually is helping. I've stressed the fact that your hair is dry because you don't deep condition. The thing is, I'm not really going to push it because, for me, deep conditioning, it's annoying, but she has limited energy. She doesn't want to spend the little energy she has sitting with deep condition in her hair, so I get it. And with Bo Peep Luxuries, the Supreme, it's such a moisturizing conditioner that she's actually been able to get away with not deep conditioning. She's used it a few times at this point, and it does seem to be having good results. So
it changed the texture of my hair. It's the first thing that's ever it's the first time that I've been able to pull a comb through my hair.
I've been using the LCO method on her hair for every other day for the last week or so. She doesn't deep condition. She doesn't deep condition because she doesn't have a ton of energy. So it is something very relevant. How do you maintain healthy, natural hair when you don't have the energy to do what other people with energy are able to do?
Oh, also going back to talking about quarantine and still getting dressed up. It's funny because when I went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago, when I pulled down my mask, I had this bright red lipstick on, and she was like, "Oh, I love your lipstick. I mean, thank you for even doing that. It kind of brightened my day to see that." It made me realize, I guess most people don't put on lipstick
underneath the mask.
It's going to be, but
that's why Christina brought me a mask to try on a couple of weeks ago. She gives me this thing, and it's got a lipstick stain on it. And I'm like, I'm not putting this on my mouth.
There's the cage that you can use that helps to, it just, for me, the cage is annoying, and so all my masks have lipstick stain.
Managing your hair with limits due to lack of time and energy. What has been your takeaway?
I guess from back in middle school, like I've always tended towards severe hairstyles that could be easily maintained. So when I relaxed my hair, I would always do the part right here and then comb it down tight and then put it back in a bun. I don't do well with like long hair also. So like when I would try to wear my hair like this, for something I look like a man when my hair is long. Like the one time I got long braids, I looked like a man with dreads.
That was in middle school, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't like that look.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a very surprising thing to learn after 8 hours of having the braids put in. So I always tended towards the very like basic styles that could be easily maintained. With my illness, like I would collapse if I got too tired. Like whenever I would collapse, my first thought would be, "Oh God, what does my hair look like?" Yes, it is important. If something happens to you, the first thing should be your health, not how you look. But the thing is that everybody has eyes. Like I remember one time when I collapsed, my skirt was up and my underwear was out, and I was like, could somebody please?
And no one was paying attention to that
and nobody cared. And I'm like, but people can see me. Like, even if you don't think it's important that my butt is out while I'm on the ground, I care enough. And so for me, it was important that if I was going to collapse, if I was going to be sick and not able to take care of myself, I didn't want to have, growth and hair all over the place and just look sick and crazy. I'd rather just look sick.
We had a conversation with Jasmine, our older sister, because we were talking about, it might have been this incident, and Jasmine was saying that she always wears like nice lingerie. If she's ever in an accident or something and she's pulled over and paramedics have to rip her clothes off for whatever reason. She also reads a lot of romance novels. If anyone had to rip her clothes off for any reason, she wanted to make sure that, she looked nice everywhere. Which is funny because when it comes to me, I would love to just have like underwear that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
But it's interesting though because like with chronic fatigue, it's something that is difficult to get diagnosed, and it impacts women a lot more than it does men, and as a result doctors tend to believe women less when they have the symptoms. And because I always look so put together and I'll always smile and always look happy, the doctors they're more likely to not think that I'm sick, which would, I guess, if I had kind of gone with how I felt, and if I reflected that and I looked a mess, then maybe it would have been easier with the doctors, because I said, oh, clearly this woman is sick. But there were several times that I would shop so much that I would then literally collapse the next day.
My mom used to go and have to pick her up from the sidewalk in Brooklyn to bring her back home because she couldn't move anymore. My mom would always joke that Christina's the only one who would actually shop until she dropped.
Yeah. But I would also get such an infusion of energy. Like when I see, like there are times when I would feel tired, but I would see a top in a color that just energized me so much that I would go there and then I would just be grabbing things and holding it, and I would get this, like, I guess the energy that mothers get when they see something happen to their children, that's the energy that I see when I see clothes that I love. It's very intense. No, it's quite it's not the same level. I mean, obviously it's not the
You're not lifting any cars.
I mean, yeah. So for me, I just get so energized by things that look nice, and it's a crazy energy to a certain extent, but focusing on looking nice and in a way that makes me feel better, makes me feel happier, I think that it's a very positive thing, and it's an energizing thing. And during the quarantine as well, I mean, we're all, locked inside thinking about terrible things, but if the one things could be like, I got these nails because...
I was actually just looking at those when we started this video.
Yeah.
And it's funny about her nails, I came across a couple of them in my washing machine a couple days ago. Those are not her actual nails.
No,
but
I mean, we're not getting manicures, but this, no. I mean, getting these nails...
Show them, they're actually really cool.
They're from a company called Marmalade.
We'll link them in the description box if you're interested.
Yeah,
those are actually...
They're fantastic, and what's great about them is the glue that you use to put them on, it actually not moisturizes, but like it helps to strengthen your nails so that when you take them off, it's not just like broken down, and you have to soak them. Every day of the pandemic when I was looking, because I have this issue with my nails splitting, and it's insane because it's been happening for like 2 years, but I was always getting gel manicure, and so throughout the quarantine, every day that I would wake up and just see my jagged looking nails, knowing that I don't know. Yeah, like just every time that I would look at my hands, I would get so mad, and then thinking like, is it going to be like, what, in 3 years that I can get my nails fixed again? So, I mean, now, like, the happiness I feel every time I look at my hands, like, I feel like it's energizing me, and maybe it makes my health better. Who knows?
I actually don't know this. What is your hair care routine, if you have one?
I don't have a hair care routine.
You sleep on satin. Yeah. I know. She wears silk caps, like, 24/7. How often do you wash it?
I would say probably, like, every 4 days or so.
Really?
Like,
why so often?
I mean, maybe
her hair also falls out a little bit because of her medications.
Yeah, more than a little bit. But yeah, I think because when it gets so dry. Oh, that's what it is. Because it gets dry, and then I put product in it, and then the product will start to flake out. So I wash my hair to make sure that I don't have too much product buildup.
But then some people might argue that when you wash your hair too much, it dries your hair out. So maybe you could try like a washing once a week and then a midweek co-wash with like a conditioning cleanser.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
it's a matter of just finding the right products. If you don't find not finding the right products means that I constantly have to keep putting them on, and then there's more buildup. So
no, but I just mean like you could wash your hair with a shampoo 1 week and conditioner and all that, and then a few days later, instead of washing your hair again with a shampoo, you use a co-wash.
Oh well, okay. Yeah. When I wash my hair, I don't always use shampoo.
Oh, you don't? Okay,
no,
that's.
I use
When I say wash, I mean literally like a shampoo.
After I was relaxing my hair and wearing it long and putting it back in a bun, then I switched to cutting it short and doing the Halle Berry haircut, because that also, it took 2 seconds. Like, when I would go to the hairdresser, they would have it wet, and then they would try to figure out, what they were supposed to do to fix it, and I would just go like this, go like this, go like this, and then let it air dry. And so that also, if I collapsed, it did not impact my hair at all. It did kind of get big like Frankenstein when it had to be relaxed. So I kept on working towards cutting it shorter and shorter. And then I started to notice that the styles that I was trying to emulate were the styles of people who had of coiled hair. I guess it would be natural hair that's very low down. Because I didn't want to have any sort of...
What's a low down?
Well, I guess not a TWA, because this is like a TWA now.
Well, this is just an afro. This is just a small afro.
Yeah, I guess not bald. Maybe if you have this much hair.
Like pile, on a carpet. You mean short?
Yeah, short.
That's the word you're talking about.
Yes, okay. Because I guess my hair was short when I had the Halle Berry haircut, but I'm talking about when I took it mostly all off and I would just have an inch of hair. Oh, okay. But then going from relaxing it to just having it natural so that it stuck down to my head, so it looked exactly how I wanted it to look. So I went to doing that, and then I realized that ultimately what I wanted was to have no hair, so not exactly bald, but probably a millimeter of hair, so that so it's right underneath the skin, so it gives it a shadow. And the reason I started growing my hair out, though, again, I think was just because winter was coming. So, I'm not growing hair fully on the right side of my head, which I'm sure I'm not the medications, because I sleep on the right side. So it's much longer on the left side than it is on the right side. The reason I would like to grow my hair out is so that I can wear turbans, and that it sits properly.
It sounds like you don't care if you have to shave your hair.
No.
So maybe you keep trying to grow it out, see if you can repair it, and you might come off of that medication. And then if it grows, that's great. If it starts to fall out, you just cut it, and then it won't impact you all that much.
Yeah. Plus, I'm also acutely aware that you can only shave your head when you have the proper angles of your face. So that being said, in the summer, I would have to have my face to not be as round. Then I can shave it, but I have my winter weight. But in the summer, I swim more, so then I have so that it's different. So that I can handle. But I think that it would be a mistake.
Would you say that swimming is an easier form of exercise versus any other with your illness?
Well, yeah, because you can float. I think
but even floating requires energy, does it not? I don't go in the water very often.
Yeah, no. I think since I've gotten bigger, I've gotten better at floating. I don't know.
Is that? I don't know the physics behind that.
I just noticed recently that I could lie down and then still be on top of the water.
Is that what the whole beach whale thing means?
Yeah. In the pandemic, one of the most amazing feelings is just being in the pool and just being surrounded by water when you're just so terrified about being outdoors and all the things happening there, that it really allows you to get
in a private pool.
In a private pool,
yeah.
If I saw legs, it's also feel much better being in water. I always going down by the dock. There was a time when I would go there and just sit and look at the water, and just water makes me feel much better. I highly recommend anybody if you have access to a pool, that swimming is the number one. To me, it's the best thing, because you can float, you can exercise as much as you'll be allowed, and then when you can take a break, you're treading water. You can just modify. There's a lot of modification, yeah. And then you can, whenever you're done, there's always the steps, so you can easily get out. It's not like you go for a run and then you're stranded because you can't get back. And the hair care, that also, for swimming, obviously, makes sense to... Well, no, that's also part of it, but when I had the Halle Berry haircut, it was very easily, because I would get out of the pool, obviously, you have to do anti-chlorine shampoo, you can't just do conditioner.
I never looked into proper hair care coming out of a pool, because it's just not something that I'm willing to do, so...
I guess find a nice swim cap.
Maybe they have swim caps for natural hair. It would be a lot of work. You can't just, I couldn't, my hair's small right now, but if my hair was big, like it has been recently, I couldn't fit all of this in a swim cap. And it would be pulled out because swim caps are rubber.
It's interesting. If you think about the amount of black people in the Caribbean who would
Did they wear swim caps though?
No, but I'm saying there's a clear market for people. I would imagine, well, maybe it's not a clear market, but
Mommy used to wear a swim cap. I'll have to ask her about it.
Oh, she did.
She did.
But she ever relaxed her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's something to look into. Not for me.
Do you think you would have had the same approach to hair even if you had been healthy?
Yes, because I'm very impatient. Could not see myself devoting time to hair care because it's not, I mean, just even with anything else in life, like I don't have the patience. Like I couldn't play golf because I don't have the patience to figure out all the technique and focus on things. And as much as I love food, I don't have the patience to cook long, intricate meals. So I think it's just the same thing with hair, that I guess whatever is I'm going to say cheap route. Time-wise, the cheapest route to get to the best outcome.
I'm trying to think, well, I guess the problem is you've been sick since you were 10 years old. So you actually never had a chance to be well and see what your hair might, because also illness may or may not change your hair. Because it affects your whole body, as I'm always talking about in my videos. You've got inflammation. You have 2 inflammatory diseases, at least. That applies to your hair follicles. So who knows what your hair would have been like, I guess, in a different situation.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to predict or hard to even have an answer to that.
It's funny because I mean, thinking about like even before I got sick, like I've always loved doing jigsaw puzzles, which obviously takes an incredibly long amount of time. It's interesting that I would rather sit down and look at a puzzle that takes me 8 hours when fatigue was not as much of an issue. Like when I was younger, I don't think it was as much of an issue. I just know there are times when I would fix my hair and it wasn't a fatigue issue because I have very thick hair, and I would get halfway through my hair and then realize that this is not something that I'm willing to commit to. Like when I used to put curlers in my hair.
That I get, because to be fair, the first time I was doing her hair, it had been the first time I'd ever touched her hair. And I started applying product and I was trying to work it in. And then I was trying to look and see if I could find split ends or anything that should be trimmed, just to see what we were working with here. And I got through a quarter of her hair and I'm like, do you want me to do both sides of your head? I didn't end up doing both sides. I ended up doing half. But it's a lot of work.
I mean, the hairdressers used to yell at me, I guess. Now you see why they used to yell at me.
Now I get it. Now I get it. Your hair's, I thought my hair was thick. Her hair is thick. Yeah. Her hair is thick. Her hair is dense. I thought my hair was dense. My hair is not dense.
But that's why it's fine for me that it's falling out, because there's so much of it. Like, even with my doctor, when she was looking at it, she's like, it's falling out, but you have so much.
You can't tell?
Yes.
Who are you fixing your hair for? Yourself or someone else at this point? You do have Zoom calls, so you are still seeing people.
Yeah, no. I've always mostly fixed my hair for myself.
Although you do wear a hat all the time.
I do.
At this point.
Yeah. But that's, because my hair, I mean, I can't get my hair trimmed. And so this, within an hour, I would say my hair's not going to look like this. It's going to start to have, and I'm always listening to music. I always have my headphones on and I wear the over hair. And so it puts these, it's a problem there. My ears
hat
are
hair,
too small
permanent hat hair.
Yeah, it's permanent hat hair. Yeah. So I can either have hat hair or headphone hair. But also I love hats. I've always loved skull caps. They're called beanies. And now I have this huge mustard colored beanie from Slapcap. Yeah, satin lined. From Slapcap, right?
Grace Soleil.
From Grace Soleil, yeah. I love the hats, and then it's also moisturizing. I mean, I can moisturize my hair, have it sitting, and something happening with it. So I don't really have a style routine right now. If I look in the mirror and I look bad, it make the tearing on my.
Can I pop this?
And then leave?
No, I have my shoes on.
Excellent.
So I would say I mostly fix my hair for myself and fix myself up for myself. In addition, I mean, I would not want somebody to see me looking wild in general. I think it was deep into the pandemic. I guess probably 10 months in when I finally would have a day where I get up and just put on sweats. But then I realized on those days I just don't feel good because I hate the fact that I look like no one's stopping by randomly. Maybe that's so ingrained in my approach that knowing that if I look a certain way, then someone might catch me looking that way. So then I feel more at ease with myself if I look a way that I would like to be presented.
What is your end goal with your hair right now?
I think I would like to see how big my hair can get, and if my face can manage having big hair. I know that my face cannot manage having long hair. My ideal is that I lose the weight and I can shave my head and then just have it low all the time. That's how I would ideally like to have it. I don't anticipate looking good with a big afro, but it's a goal that I would love to reach. And there's also so many things you could do once you have your hair big, still having severe styles.
Probably get annoying.
I would imagine.
It would be in the way. I could see it being in the way.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah. I mean, the length that I would like it to be, I could see that being a problem. My end goal might just be a shaved head, but
you want to see where you can go with it. So we're gonna run this Bo Peep train for a little bit longer and see what happens. And also, just, I mean, she did experience weight gain because of medication in these different phases of weight. She's had to work with her hair and see kind of what works.
I wish I'd shaved my head much earlier before I put on all the weight, because it probably would have managed differently. But anyway, live and learn. So.
Yep. Well, at least we're living, right?
Yeah.
Well, that brings me to the end of this video. If you can relate to any of this, or you have any questions or anything, relevant, let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our content. If you like this channel and haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. Like, comment, and share, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Thanks, and have a good one.